Hi everyone and welcome to my channel Native Explorer. Today I'm going to talk about 10 reasons why I love the SeaFrogs salted line housing for the Sony RX-100 series. It is this camera over here. If you are new to my channel, my name is Rowie and I'm currently a freediving instructor and photographer based in Koh Tao, Thailand. My channel includes quality footage from around the world of cool things to do, local experiences, tech reviews, freediving tutorials, and as the owner of a jewelry company, also gems and jewelry education. So please consider subscribing. I'm sure there is something you can watch. I've been using this housing for over 8 months now and taking many photographs with it. So here is a machine gun of all my favorite photos. So here are 10 reasons why I love this housing. Number 1, high quality housing with 2 color options. The housing is very light and compact compared to other housing out there in the market. Despite its small size, it is extremely durable and robust. The double-sided metal hinge locks are very secured and there is absolutely no way you can accidentally open your housing underwater. And the best feature, it comes in 2 colors. The white color housing is very popular with the lady photographers out there. And SeaFrogs also points out that since in freediving and surfing, the camera is mostly at the surface, the white color housing reflects the sun rays to keep the camera cool. Very cool. I've been using this housing for over 8 months now and I feel very safe going with it into the water, which is the most important thing you want as a photographer. Number 2, the compatibility. Another feature I like about the housing is that it's compatible with most RX-100 series, Mark 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So if you have an earlier version of the salted line and want to upgrade, say from Mark 5 to Mark 7, the housing is compatible. All the different replacement parts to adjust to the different models are coming with the housings. This is a big money saver because you can upgrade your camera without needing to buy new housing. Number 3, the buttons and accessibility. Another feature of the SeaFrog housing is that it has full access to all the buttons. It is very easy and comfortable to operate the camera since all the buttons are accessible with the housing. It is great functionality for a photographer to be able to change all the settings underwater. Even with the GoPro, with the waterproof housing, it doesn't provide you with this functionality underwater. I'm using the GoPro 7 and you just can't change the settings. Let's say if you want to change from 30 frames per second to 60 frames per second while diving underwater. For me as a filmmaker and a videographer, having a full control underwater is very important, and with this housing it is easily done. In fact, most housing I previously used for daily camera operations and changing the settings are really cumbersome. The buttons are too close together, or when you press them, the camera doesn't respond and you have to press harder. In fact, usually with most housing, I prefer to adjust the settings or playback outside the housing. But with the SeaFrog housing for the RX-100 series, it is actually easier to operate the camera inside the housing than outside the housing. The buttons on the camera itself are very small and tight and too close together. With the housing, it's usually easier and more comfortable to press the buttons and operate the camera. Number 4, the aluminum pistol grip. The pistol grip is a great accessory for both freediving and surfing or any other activity when you don't have 2 hands. Originally, it was meant for surfers who need the other hand to stabilize while surfing, but I find it really useful for freediving as well, as you need the other hand to equalize your ears. So you can click and shoot while duck diving and going down head first, having the spare hand to equalize. I also use it when I go photo shoots inside tight caves where I find the tray system too big and cumbersome, or when I need the other end free, not just to equalize, but maybe to hold a flashlight or grab a rock when there is a strong current. It's a really cool accessory for a freediving photographer that makes you free to take photos from different angles. Number 5, leak detection sensor. Safety is paramount to protect your camera, and one feature that makes me feel safe is the leak detector, also known as moisture detection sensor. The leak detector is a great component to make sure your camera stays dry and safe. This detector will start beeping even if one tiny drop of liquid is leaked inside the camera, giving you enough time to surface up and save your equipment in case of an emergency flooding. For extra safety, I usually put my housing in the water for a few minutes before every dive, just to make sure there is no leaking. I also like the fact that the leak sensor only costs $25 and not a crazy expensive price, very affordable to replace it. Number 6, the vacuum pump system and the vacuum detector. The housing also provides another layer of security with the vacuum pump system and the vacuum detector. Having a professional underwater housing means that occasionally you will need to change the O-rings or at least take them out and grease them. After every maintenance, you want to make sure that the housing is 100% sealed and airtight. This is where the vacuum detector comes in handy. You can use the pump to extract all the air out from the housing, and the sensor will flash green when there is a vacuum inside. I usually leave it for 10 minutes to make sure no air is leaking in. It is a great tool to make sure your maintenance was done properly. I also do it after I install the pistol grip, because you need to connect a wire inside the camera, so you kind of like changing the seal. So I also use the vacuum pump system to make sure that the housing is airtight and completely sealed whenever I change to the pistol grip or to the tray system. Number 7, maintenance and replacement parts. Another great feature of the housing is the low maintenance. There is almost no maintenance required. In the 8 months I'm using this housing, and I've been using it a lot, I only had to change the O-rings once. And I grease them about like once a week, so very low maintenance, and it seems enough. I did have a problem one time when I broke the zoom button, but in less than 2 weeks, SeaFrogs sent me the replacement part, and it took me literally 5 minutes to replace it. Super easy maintenance and replacement, which you can do by yourself. No need to ship it out. The interchangeable lens, the wet lens, dry dome, and the dry port. I love the versatility that comes with this housing. The only disadvantage of the Sony RX-100 camera itself is that it doesn't have interchangeable lens. The housing kind of solves this problem. If I'm having low visibility and I have to be close to the subject, I will use the dry port with the wet correctional dome lens that compensate for the distortion or magnification of the water. If I'm doing a macro shot, I will use the macro filter. And if I want to make cool shots at the pool or while snorkeling, I will connect this dry dome port to make super cool above and under photos. Number 9, the price. The best feature of this housing is by far the price. The value you get for the price is amazing. If you already have the Sony RX-100 camera, you can get a full operational housing ready to take underwater photos and videos for just under $400. This is cheaper than a GoPro, and you can get a professional camera setup. If I was low on budget and had to choose between a GoPro or a housing for my Sony RX-100, I would definitely choose the housing because the results are so much better. Take a look at a sample footage of a giant grouper hunting a smaller fish during a night dive. Very difficult low light conditions. Now take a look at the same footage taken with a GoPro, just from a different angle. No color correction was added. You can clearly see the difference in quality and resolution. Which brings us to the last reason why I love this housing so much, and that is the results. Number 10, the outcome. Thanks to this housing, I'm really able to get amazing photos that stand out from the rest. This has given me more clients and more exposure on social media than what I could have ever achieved with a GoPro. Here are some of the photos. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you find this video useful, please press like and subscribe. And if you want to buy the SeaFrogs housing, you can get a small discount if you use my discount code Native Explorer.